100 miles of water. That's all that separates China from Taiwan. 100 miles between peace and the most dangerous military conflict of the 21st century. China has 2 million troops, the world's largest navy, hypersonic missiles, and an obsession with reunifying Taiwan that goes back 75 years. Taiwan has 23 million people, a thriving democracy, and the determination to stay independent. Plus, one critical advantage: geography. And then there's the United States, a superpower that's pledged to defend Taiwan, a commitment that could trigger World War. 3.S. Oh, why hasn't China invaded? What's stopping them? And what would it actually take to conquer an island defended by modern weapons, natural barriers, and the threat of American intervention? Let's break down why China can't invade Taiwan, yet the obsession. Why China wants Taiwan. To understand this conflict, you need to go back to 1949. China's Civil War. The communists under Mao Zedong defeated the nationalists under Chiang Kai-shek. The nationalists fled to Taiwan with 2 million refugees, gold reserves, and the dream of retaking mainland China someday. For decades, both sides claimed to be the legitimate government of all China, the People's Republic on the mainland and the Republic of China on Taiwan. But by the 1980s, Taiwan stopped pretending. It built a separate identity, a democracy, an economic powerhouse producing 60% of the world's advanced semiconductors. Today, most Taiwanese identify as Taiwanese, not Chinese. They have their own government, military, and way of life. Beijing sees this as intolerable. President Xi Jinping has made reunification a core goal. He said Taiwan must return to Chinese control, and he's implied it will happen in his lifetime, by force if necessary. But there's more at stake than pride. Taiwan sits at the heart of the first island chain, the geographical barrier that contains China's navy in the Pacific. Control Taiwan, and China breaks free into the open ocean. Lose Taiwan, and China stays bottled up. This is about power, national pride, and control of the Pacific. The challenge. Why invasion is so hard? Here's the problem for China. Taiwan is an island, and invading islands is one of the hardest military operations to pull off. Let's break down the challenges. Challenge number 1. The Taiwan Strait is 100 miles wide at its narrowest point. That's 100 miles of open water that Chinese forces would have to cross under fire. And it's not calm water. The strait is notoriously rough. Strong currents, frequent storms, typhoons from June to November. Even in good weather, it's challenging. An invasion would require thousands of ships carrying hundreds of thousands of troops, tanks, artillery, and supplies, all crossing together, all vulnerable to attack. Challenge number 2. Limited landing zones. Taiwan isn't a flat, open beach. 70% of the island is mountains and forests. The coastline is cliffs, rocky shores, and urban areas. There are only about 14 beaches suitable for amphibious landings, and Taiwan knows exactly where they are. Every single landing zone is fortified. Minefields, artillery positions, anti-ship missiles, machine gun nests. Taiwan has spent decades preparing for this exact scenario. Even if Chinese forces land, they have to fight through cities. Urban warfare is brutal, slow, and costly. Every building becomes a fortress, every block a battleground. Challenge number 3. Taiwan's military is smaller than China's, but it's not weak. Taiwan has modern fighter jets, attack helicopters, submarines, and advanced anti-ship missiles. Taiwan doesn't need to win a war. It just needs to make invasion so costly that China backs down. And right now, it can do that. Taiwan's Harpoon missiles can sink Chinese ships before they reach shore. Its air force can contest Chinese air superiority. Its army is trained specifically for defensive warfare on its own terrain. Plus, Taiwan has a reserve force of millions. Every able-bodied citizen receives military training. An invasion wouldn't just face the military. It would face armed resistance across the island. Logistics nightmare. Military analysts compare a Taiwan invasion to D-Day, the Allied invasion of Normandy in World War II, except harder. D-Day involved 150,000 troops crossing the English Channel. A Taiwan invasion would require at least 500,000, possibly 1 million troops to secure the island. Here's China's problem. It doesn't have enough ships, China has the world's largest navy by number of ships, but most are destroyers, frigates, and corvettes warships, not troop transports. China has about 50 amphibious assault ships. That's enough to land maybe 40,000 troops in the first wave. Nowhere near enough. China would have to use civilian ferries and cargo ships, slow, unarmored vessels that would be easy targets for Taiwanese missiles. Then there's the supply problem. An invasion force needs constant resupply ammunition, fuel, food, medical supplies. Every ship making the crossing is at risk. If Taiwan sinks just 10 to 20% of the invasion fleet, the operation could collapse. Thousands of troops drowning, equipment lost, morale shattered at the airborne operation. What about airborne assault? Paratroopers and helicopters? Taiwan has sophisticated air defenses. Chinese transport planes would be flying into a meat grinder. And even if troops land, they'd be isolated, surrounded, and cut off from reinforcements. History shows airborne-only invasions rarely work. You need amphibious and airborne forces working together. And that brings us back to the same problem crossing 100 miles of hostile water, the wild card. The United States. Now we get to the biggest reason China hasn't invaded. America. The United States has a policy called strategic ambiguity. Washington won't say definitively whether it would defend Taiwan militarily, but it's strongly implied. The Taiwan Relations Act commits the U.S. to provide Taiwan with defensive weapons. America has sold Taiwan billions in missiles, jets, and naval systems. More importantly, the U.S. has massive military presence in the Pacific. Aircraft carrier strike groups, air bases in Japan, Guam, and South Korea, submarines, stealth bombers. If China invades Taiwan, the U.S. Navy and Air Force could intervene within hours. Chinese ships would face American submarines, destroyers, and carrier-based aircraft. The invasion fleet could be destroyed before reaching Taiwan shores. And then there's the nuclear question. Both the U.S. and China have nuclear weapons. A direct war between them risks escalation to unthinkable levels. Beyond military risk, there are economic consequences. AU.S. China war would devastate the global economy. Supply chains shattered, trade halted, stock markets crashing. Taiwan produces 60% of the world's advanced semiconductors. The chips that power everything from iPhones to fighter jets to hospital equipment. Lose Taiwan, and the global tech industry collapses. China knows this. America knows this. And it's one more reason invasion remains too risky. Why yet matters. China's preparations. So if invasion is so hard, why the yet? Because China is preparing. China is rapidly building amphibious assault ships, new landing craft, transport vessels. Its goal, be capable of moving hundreds of thousands of troops across the strait. China is developing anti-ship ballistic missiles designed to sink American aircraft carriers, hypersonic missiles that can't be intercepted, cyber weapons to disrupt Taiwanese defenses. Its air force is growing. Fifth-generation stealth fighters, long-range bombers, massive drone fleets, and it's practicing. China conducts military exercises simulating a Taiwan blockade or invasion multiple times a year, testing capabilities, refining tactics, building experience. Some U.S. intelligence estimates suggest China wants the capability to invade Taiwan by 2027. Others say 2030 or beyond. The question isn't if China is building toward invasion capability. It's when it will have it, and whether it will actually use it. The nightmarish military planners don't just think about full invasion. They consider other options. Scenario 1. BLC China could blockade Taiwan instead of invading, cut off imports of food, fuel, and materials, strangle the economy, force surrender without firing a shot. Taiwan imports most of its energy and food. A sustained blockade could work if the U.S. doesn't break it. Scenario 2. Limited STRIKS China could launch missile strikes on Taiwanese infrastructure, power plants, ports, airfields, create chaos without a full invasion. Goal: force Taiwan to negotiate reunification from a position of weakness. Scenario 3. Cyber and hybrid warfare. China could wage cyber attacks and disinformation campaigns, disrupt communications, spread panic, weaken Taiwan's will to resist before any military action. None of these are guaranteed to work. but they're all less risky than a full amphibious invasion. And that's what makes this so dangerous. There are many ways this could escalate, so NCLUS on 100 miles of water. That's what separates China from Taiwan. But it's not just water. It's 100 miles of uncertainty, danger, and the highest stakes geopolitical gamble of our time. Can China invade Taiwan? Not easily. The geography is brutal. The defenses are strong. The logistics are a nightmare. And the United States looms as a nuclear-armed wild card. But China is preparing, building ships, testing weapons, running drills. The capability gap is closing. Taiwan isn't backing down. It's fortifying defenses, buying weapons, and rallying its people too. Resist, and the world is watching. Because this isn't just about China and Taiwan. It's about semiconductors that power the global economy. It's about American credibility. It's about whether authoritarian powers can change borders by force. Right now, China can't invade Taiwan. The risks are too high. The costs too great. The obstacles too many. But can't and won't are different things. And every year, China gets a little closer to having the capability. The question isn't if this will remain stable forever. It's how long the balance holds. And what happens when it tips. Do you think China will invade Taiwan in the next decade? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more analysis on the conflicts and power struggles shaping our world, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching.